What's up, everybody? I am here with Miguel from Hustle Got Real, and I'm excited because I've heard about the software for a long time. Because back when I was at Grind Camp, oh gosh, this was like a year and a half ago now, Becky used Hustle Got Real, and I've always heard pretty good things about it actually. So it's cool to actually talk to another creator of another dropshipping software. I'm trying to talk to every single person who makes dropshipping software. That's like life dream. How you doing, man?
Thank you, Jack. How are you doing? I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
So yeah, I started dropshipping like 3 years ago, I think. When I was living in the UK. I'm based in Spain now. It's much better. Um, so yeah, I started dropshipping because I was looking for ways of making money online, and I found David Wu's dropshipping course on Udemy.
Oh, you're a
And
David Viewer. Oh, me too.
yes.
Me too.
See, well, that's how I think many people got started into drop shipping. So yeah, I found that method. I found it was interesting, and I gave it a try. It worked really well in the UK. I was a bit concerned at first because I knew it was definitely working well in the US, but I was not sure how it would work in the UK. Sorry, but it did. It went very well, and I studied computers engineering when I was back in Spain, so I have a background, like a technical background. So I thought, okay, this is working, but I'm spending a lot of time like managing the store, checking different products, and basically looking for managing the store, spending time with the store. It was great. I was making good money, but I didn't want to spend all day in the office or at home working in front of the computer. So I decided to start creating slowly a small piece of software that could automate uh, basically the main tasks that were time consuming. So I could have just used one of the existing options that were available in the market by then, but I decided that I wanted to create something that was very easy to use, exactly how I wanted it to be, exactly like specifically designed to my needs and very simple to use. So with that idea in mind, I started like coding, and eventually I got it working. I was very happy with the result because I was using it with my own store, and I was tweaking it to, well, depending on what I wanted to do on eBay, then I was creating that new feature to the software. Then eventually I thought, okay, well, this is working very well for me. If I were to make this available to others, then some other people could also benefit from what I'm doing without spending all the time that I've spent
Yeah.
uh, doing things manually. And also I could benefit as well because, well, it's some other source of income. So this is how it all started. It was like a year and a half ago or so, or maybe a little bit more, when I was starting coding, and it has been growing a lot recently since it started. Becky, as you mentioned, she helped us a lot during the first stages of the development because she was very committed to drop shipping and to helping us as well. We tried to give her more audience as well, and I think it was a very very nice relationship. And after that, we got a lot of people in the UK. We got known by more and more sellers. Still, most of our users are still based in the UK, but we are now like increasing the number of sources and services that we provide to not only US but also other countries such as France, Spain. My friends are continually asking me to add new sources and new features. They always come up with ideas. So I think it's been a long journey. And well, now we are also working with some like YouTubers like Sarwar and some others that are also helping us mainly in the UK. And your name was basically on my list since like long time ago because, well, I was watching your videos of you managing your gigantic
Oh
eBay
gosh.
stores, and also I always wanted to meet you and make a video with you. So I'm very happy, very excited to be here.
Yeah, I love making videos with people. That's like I love that way more than drop shipping. Drop shipping is just an excuse for me to make videos. But so I'd like to ask a little bit about some if you feel comfortable explaining this, if you could talk a bit about the like because the UK eBay marketplace is different than the US eBay marketplace.
Yes.
And a lot of my users or my viewers would benefit from better understanding what these differences are. I talked to an individual who is based in, I want to say, some country in Africa, and he had an easier time creating a business in England as a foreigner than he did creating a business in the US as a foreigner. And this is a big hurdle for a lot of international people because if you can get a business registered, then this means you can get cashback cards. It opens up a whole new world of profitability and opportunities and for sourcing as well. So if you could share a little bit about how you feel
Yeah,
about the eBay
of course.
UK
Like,
marketplace, that would be great.
so the UK, I think, for doing business is really great. And I, as a foreigner as well, I was a bit concerned at first about creating a company, setting up a company in the UK. But I just literally went to an advisor to ask what should I do, how it should be done, and I literally walked out of the office with the company almost done. Like I just had to pay, I think it was £100, and
Yeah.
everything was in progress already. So it was really, really nice. In Spain is a bit more difficult, quite a lot actually, and in the US as well. But in the UK, I didn't have any problem on that. And I actually created one company for the store, one company for the software. So it's very nice for doing business. They are really focused on helping startup. There are certain benefits as well, and then specifically on eBay platform itself, I think the US is a bit more restrictive in certain like metrics and details. You obviously get a lot more traffic because there are more people, but still the UK is still is competitive. There is still a lot of people using eBay nowadays, and and I think that there is a balance. It's different. It cannot be compared. Some you get less people, less traffic, but still you can make a lot of money. We see a lot of users still making a lot of money because always people want to go to the US because that's where everybody is in, and you need to be there. But in the UK, actually, there's less people. There is still a lot of traffic for the number of users that we have. And as I said, the platform that we provide, the service we provide, is exactly the same for both UK and US because the idea is that you can configure your account so that you can play around with different strategies and you can try something that's working for you in the US, but you want to try in the UK. So it's all about giving the users the option to do that because you don't really know 100% like the eBay algorithm of what's working, what's not. Maybe we even tested it with accounts created exactly the same days, uh, posting the same product. Then one product was on page one, and for the other account, same product was page 4 or 5. So it's difficult. But this is what we are trying to always find out and test with different stores. And well, you cannot certainly tell like silver bullet that works for everything. It depends on the account. It depends on many factors.
Luck.
Uh, well, like the feedback, maybe in the UK you have got the feedback is not as important as it's just an example,
Hmm.
right? Because everything has an impact on or can potentially have an impact on Cassini on the algorithm, but they don't really tell you. I have got an anchor store, and I've been asking like, what can I do so that I can sell more items? Then now there's this big thing about promoted listings, that people say no, it's just with 1% is enough. Then you say no, if it's not more than 3% or 4%, you don't get anything. You don't get any traffic. Now my account got throttled, and well, we've seen particularly like we have got everyday users sharing their experiences, and you see like many different things. It's very difficult for me to tell you exactly this is important here. Now with the tracking numbers as well. In the UK, you didn't even need to upload all the tracking numbers back then. Now you always need tracking numbers need to be there because otherwise it affects your metrics. You lose your top rate status, and each site has got their own rules, and you need to know the rules at least so that you don't. If you are in the UK, you need to know the rules in the UK and try to adapt your strategy to those rules. Because if you don't need to upload all tracking numbers, then why are you spending time doing that? Whereas in the US, you need to do that because otherwise it's very difficult then to keep up with the metrics and become top rated.
Yeah,
And
impossible. You have to have tracking numbers to get top rated in the US.
with small differences, then there needs to be a balance. You need to know where you are playing.
Yeah. And so I think this is relevant to people right now, because if you have the ability to create a company as a foreigner, then technically, no matter how many times you get banned or you get in trouble with eBay, you can just keep restarting because the company is the identity. So even though technically you're the same person, they can only ban the credentials of each company, and then you can just reiterate over and over and over again, which is very useful given that eBay is constantly changing things. And it's comforting to know that, say that you get into a situation, you grow an account and you get the account flagged. If you're in the US or you're using your own, in the US it's the same. If you're able to create new companies and the account was set up in the company's identity, then you can just keep reiterating. But most people use their own identities. So in this case, like, I'm banned on eBay. Like, my identity is banned on eBay. But if I were to create a new company, then it would be completely fine, right? And the big problem with dropshipping is the inherent instability. Things are always changing. The platforms are always making new rules. So if you're in a situation where it's convenient to make new companies, this is super, super useful, especially when eBay is changing everything and everyone's trying to figure out what the new rules are and how to, like, not get flagged and prevent these problems from happening and deal with throttling. So I just wanted to bring that up because for those of you listening, that is an option. You can create businesses in different marketplaces. It's also relevant to understand that I have heard, you can feel free to share your thoughts and your opinion on this, but I've heard that most of the changes that eBay has regarding dropshippers and being more strict about getting dropshipping off their platform, mostly this is within the eBay US marketplace at the moment. As far as I understand, the other marketplaces aren't as affected by this. Like, I know somebody who's doing bulk dropshipping in eBay France, like on the eBay French marketplace, and he's earning more money than I ever earned because it's an anchor store and you get unlimited listings. So, like,
exactly, this is what I meant earlier with by knowing the rules of the site you are selling on, because you can take advantage of that. Even though some people might think, oh, France is not big enough, I won't be making enough money, but still there's a lot of money to be made, even in other countries, other than the US. And if you know the rules and you know how to benefit from their system, then it can still be worth it. And with regards to what you were saying about creating new companies, because, like, for example, my account got throttled, then I want to create a new company, or maybe it will work if I just remove all the listings. It depends. Like, we have seen people who has created a new company from scratch, like new legal entity, in the UK to start all over again. And then we have got other people. User recently told us that he had removed all the listings that were from Amazon, I think, because eBay in the UK told them that, well, that should, what did they say? Retail arbitrage was not
Allowed.
um,
Yeah.
allowed on the site, and he needed to remove the listings. So he did so, and then he listed from like dropshipping suppliers, like well, some of the sources we support where they actually are dropshipping friendly. And he's saying that he got his account unflagged because of the change in the system. But the truth is, it's very difficult to prove that it's exactly because of that,
Yeah.
because there are many factors, and it could be that the items are different. There are less competitors for those products, and it's difficult. But we have seen people. This is what I like. That I see people. This is changing all the time, but people are keeping up with those changes and always trying to find new strategies. And this is also challenging for us, because we need to continually adapt the software and the service we provide to be able to deliver, and so that they can like carry on with the store. And yeah, it's challenging.
So
But
what do you think is there one obstacle you say has been the biggest obstacle for you with Hustle Got Real since you started? Like, is there anything that in particular that you've struggled with, or?
well, it's many people uh, like don't have. We have seen a lot of people. Many of them are successful, but then what I really don't like is when people are like expecting like the results to come straight away, like in 2 weeks. They told me, "Oh, I've listed 2 items and I haven't sold anything yet, and this is why I'm not listing any more items." Well, if you only list 2 items and you are not even doing any research, or the titles are not optimized, and you are not putting in the work on at least researching and finding what items to list, how are you expecting to make money if you are not following any strategy or anything, and you are yeah, no, but this is not for me. And this is frustrating, because it's people that can be smart, but they are not putting in the work, and they expect the results to. And this is one. It is something we are still seeing. Like we see every month, every week, we see people like that, and it's frustrating because we know that they could do well but they need to put in the work. We can uh, improve the software up to a certain level, but you will always need like the person to at least like direct or determine whether like follow a strategy.
Yeah.
And it can be frustrating, but then also, as from the software development point of view, it's a challenging market, because eBay, as you said, is constantly changing the rules, the systems. Now they require this. Now this is not required. You need to do this, and obviously users want to always be up to date. So it's in our case, we also like to support like a lot of sources, and obviously those sources, some of them, they don't tell you when they're going to make a change. So you need to continuously adapt the system to make sure that the service that we offer to the users is not impacted, because at the end of the day we are just uh, looking after the profits of our users, which is a big responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, unfortunately, those frustrations with people and them not putting in the work, that's never going to go away. Like, this is a reality of humans, unfortunately. And this is a frustration that I share, because in my position, as somebody who has provided people with information, I often find that I'm in a position where like people expect me to fix their problem. And it's like, I just made videos in the past that are helpful. That doesn't mean that it's like my duty to fix the fact that you don't want to improve your life. You want other people to improve it for you, you know? And that kind of touches on one of my biggest frustrations with people, because I used to be a barista at a coffee shop, and I wanted to change my life and become self-employed, right? And I thought naively that it was all about having the information. And this is only partially true, because now I understand that the information is all there. The internet is full of free information that you can use to change your life within like a year or two. Anybody on this planet, if they really want to and they really dedicate themselves, it's not a matter of if they can do it. Like, it's not a gamble. It's absolutely doable. You just have to do it. And that is so frustrating, because it shows that most people are in the situation that they're in, not because of lack of information, but because of lack of drive. And that's so tricky, because as a person who wants to really help people, I don't know how to help people who don't improve their own lives and rely on other people to improve it for them. Like, how do we do that? I don't know.
I agree. I completely agree. And this is something we said, and you have put a lot of free content out there on YouTube, a lot of videos, strategies. Now I'm testing this, and at least you are trying to help. But then there are people who will tell you, "Oh, this is not working. You don't have no idea what
You are a liar."
Exactly. But the same for the software. I'm not selling enough. Your software is shit. Yeah, and but you are not. I mean, you are expecting others to do your job, and well, yeah, this is what happened. I think it's difficult to change that, but
it's a little bit sad as well, because the reason that eBay is so against drop shipping is inherently because of this mentality where people create these stores and they don't care, and they're just trying to do things quickly.
There's many people who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just, let's put our listing. Then they don't process the order. They don't, and obviously eBay is affected by this. But I'm sure that if you really know what you're doing, now that people are saying, no, there is, like, if you're using software, you are putting, so if you are doing everything like with attention to detail and paying attention to every step of the process, your account, I mean, why would they ban you?
Yeah, if you're providing a good experience to the customer.
Providing a good experience, it doesn't make any sense for them to ban you. We have proven that you have been working well and you have been providing value to eBay's customers. Problem is that they need to, like, find those who are not providing that value. And well, now with the internet and all the groups and YouTube, on YouTube, Facebook, and people talking about this, there is always a lot of noise about, oh, eBay dropshipping is dead. How many times have you heard this?
Yeah, every year. Yeah, the eBay dropshipping is dead thing is just a way for people who don't want to do it anymore to let themselves quit and feel like they didn't give up. It's not that they didn't want to do it, or that they failed, or that they decided to stop. It's that eBay changed something which meant that they had to stop. You know, this is the mentality.
Exactly. But yeah, that's, I mean, it depends on the person as well, I think. So there's people who are always up for a challenge. They are always going to try to find a workaround or a solution for a situation. But obviously, this is not the case for everybody, and this is why not everybody is successful with eBay dropshipping. But at least what you need to have is a good attitude, willingness to learn, and obviously putting in the work. That's
what it boils down to.
And I'm sure you've met a lot of people that's related to the eBay dropshipping community, and I'm sure you will. I mean, you agree with this, because and many of the people who are on YouTube, like sharing free information, free strategies, ideas at least, they still get people who blame them because that strategy doesn't work for them, and it's I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand. Awesome. So I think we will wrap this video up. And so for those of you guys watching, in 2 days, I will publish a video with Miguel showing the Hustle Got Real software. So now that we've gotten to know him a bit better, he will show us a tour of how it works, the user interface, this kind of thing. So if you're interested, feel free to check that out. And there's also links in the description.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jack.
Yeah, this was fun.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys. Ciao.